What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have a 2005 Scott Riggs Valvoline Herbie fully loaded Chevrolet Monte Carlo. One of the more nostalgic paint schemes from the year 2005. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right, folks, here we go. Well, naturally, I would say this diecast is brand new, but it was about brand new 2 decades ago. And in fact, I think I got this car for Christmas 2005. So anyways, this was a special paint scheme that was ran at the Pepsi 400 in 2005, and I want to say maybe one more time that season. And it was a very unique paint scheme, not only because it's like a movie-sponsored paint scheme, but it has a unique number font as well, which I thought was kind of interesting with it. Let's go over here to the hood of the car. You have Herbie fully loaded with kind of the new rebranding of the Valvoline sponsorship as, like, 2004, then in 2003 they had a certain style, then 05 came around, and what was it, MBM? Was it MB2 or MBM Motorsports? I think it was MB2, I could be tripping. Anyways, they rebranded the 10 after 2004, and this is kind of the style they went with in 2005. So you got Valvoline there, you have kind of your road racing style stripe, you got your bow tie there. Got Monte Carlo on the front panel of it. The diecast looks a little bit thicker, if that makes any sense. And I think the reason why is because it's a full wrap car. I think maybe they full wrapped it or they sprayed the paint a little bit thicker on it. The car looks a little bit tinted, like it's yellowed, but I actually think it's supposed to be like that. I remember looking at a photo of the car on the track, and it wasn't like a standard snow white. It was kind of like a cream color, right? I think. So if that's the case, that's probably why the car looks like... You see the background of the studio, then you look at the car. There's a little bit of a difference there. So you got a Goodyear Gator back Moog, Clavite, Comp, Etterbox, Sudoku. Go to the left side of the diecast. One of my favorite things about the mid-2000s was the not just like the superstars of the sport, but the guys that would be racing 15th, the 20th, the 30th, and the diecast that actually got made for them. Like mid-2000s Ganassi cars, I go bananas for, right? The Scott Riggs paint schemes, because he had some amazing race cars in those years. And I love how they actually got made with the top diecast brand back then, which was Action Winter Circle. A lot of them were getting made in Racing Champions, but I mean, they had so many different paint schemes for this guy. You could look at a NASCAR 06 and just look at all the different variations of paint schemes that a lot of these drivers had. One of my favorite ones was the Nickelback car. I know a lot of people don't like that music group, but I can't help it. I grew up listening to a lot of this. I love a lot of different types of music, but I always thought that was cool. And then like Green Day on Brian Vickers' car, that was pretty cool too. And then Kevin Harvick would have all these different music groups, but it's just something about the alternate paint schemes of like the mid-2000s were just really freaking cool. Got Herbie fully loaded, Valvoline, Centrix. I really wish they would have made a Boris Said car in this diecast mode. They did make it for Racing Champions, but you know how I feel about Racing Champions. I think that's Scott Riggs' signature. It's crazy to think that his son is now racing in the Truck Series. So that makes me feel extremely old, because this was only Scott Riggs' second year in the NASCAR Cup Series. Got Eagle 1 Z-Rex, I think that's how you pronounce it. Got number 10, Nextel Cup Series, no Bud Pole Award, Commit, Mechanics Wear, Gillette, EA Sports, Holly, Autometer, USG, Ray Bastos, MB&A, I think that's Checkers and Rallies, 3M, and Mac Tools, Goodyear. Go to the back panel of the diecast. Got the number 10 once again. You got Valvoline. It's a pretty good condition car, considering this thing was opened up 20 years ago. And yes, it was played with. It's seen, Duralast Cup Series style racing. So it wasn't a paint scheme I always used. I traditionally used my Johnny Benson 2003, Johnny Benson 2001, 2002 cars a lot. Even the 2004 Scott Riggs one I have. But this one was used a time or two, and surprisingly, it's not, it looks like it was put through a cheese grater. Go to the right side of the diecast here. A little bit of a Grove Street bullet hole. That's always great. Oh, I just noticed that. The U.S. Army decal there. I didn't realize that. Yeah, number 53, then you have the U.S. Army decal, then Ashland? I have no idea. Go to the top of the car. I got the number 10 on the roof. I like the little European road racing. I mean, it's not really a European stripe because they ran it in NASCAR too, but that's what I traditionally think of. I think of like Le Mans, 70s or something. I got number 10 right there. I got Eagle 1 right there on the deck lid. And that's pretty cool. I like that. Notice there's a little bit of like a polka dot gradient on the deck lid there. And then you go over here to the hood of the car, and it's present as well. Kind of reminds you of the texture you would see on an oil bottle. You know, when you grab it, it has like bumps on it, so when you're gripping it, so you don't make a giant mess while you're using the product. So that's what it kind of reminds me of. One of the cool paint schemes for 2005, man. I like this car. There's just so many great diecasts that got made. I mean, literally, I could talk about diecast forever, man. It's just so interesting to me. I mean, heck, that's why there's like 1,500 diecast reviews on this channel, man. Just so many great diecasts. Which Scott Riggs paint scheme was your favorite? I still think the 2004 was probably pretty dope. The 05 one was cool. But that Johnny Benson font, though, that Johnny Benson font was something very special to me. Just, I really like those paint schemes. Okay, let's settle the greatest debate ever. Which era of the Johnny Benson Valvoline car do you like the most? Which era of the Scott Riggs one you like the most? And then take those and compare them. Which is the best era for the Valvoline 10 car? Look, I'm a huge Johnny Benson fan, right? I really like Scott Riggs' paint scheme a lot. His paint schemes, I really enjoyed those. If I had to say what was the best out of the Scott Riggs era and the best, I still think it's the 2004 car. His Globetrotters car was pretty cool as well. I love this paint scheme right here. Like, if Kyle Larson verbatim ran this car in 2025 with a number 5 on it, I'd be 100% okay with it. I'm not going to lie. If Kyle Larson ran verbatim the exact same paint scheme here, I'd be okay with it. I'm not going to lie. Also, check out the wheelbase on these 03 Pontiacs. Oh my goodness. These things look so goofy, it's not even close. Look at the wheelbase. Like, what the biff is this? Look at the wheelbase, guys. Like, look how much wider. Look at that. That is insane. The wheel comes back all the way to here on the 04 Monte Carlo. I'm telling you, they were wild in with these Pontiacs. But I would say the winner between this one, which would be my favorite Scott Riggs Valvoline paint scheme probably, would be the 02 Johnny Benson one. I love the 03 Pontiac body style, but that 02 Pontiac, you won at Rockingham in it. Ugh. I freaking love that paint scheme so much. Another really slept on one is his year 2000 paint scheme. I think it was year 2000 or 2001. It was like blue and white. It didn't have like a lot of the red black on the car. I think it was this light, or it was medium tone blue and white. I think it was 2001. Could be tripping on that. Anyways, that one's a slam dunk. Oh, I just remembered. So I was talking about this on another video I filmed about how I like to collect diecasts of censored cars that are made on the Action Winter Circle mold, like this one right here, this Sterling Marlin. They made a Coors Light edition of this car, verbatim the same exact diecast mold as this, okay? It came in one of those like beer bottle promos, not promos, but it was like you order it for like Action Racing Collectibles or whatnot. Anyways, they made something similar for Johnny Benson in 2002 that came in a fake, I say fake, but it was basically an empty oil bottle. And it was the 2002 paint scheme, and it was the non-hood opening version, I think. I think it was more of the club car style, so I think the diecast mold might just be a little bit thicker than the Action Winter Circle. But what I was thinking of doing is buying that and then swapping out the interior with like a overproduced 2002 Tony Stewart or something, and creating that Action Winter Circle Pontiac car I've always wanted from Johnny Benson from 02. I know a lot of people probably do not care. I'm sorry, I had to put that on video. But yeah, that's something I want to do. I want to do one of these days. Problem is, yeah, that means I gotta go find one. I wanted to do that also with Terry Labonte's 2002 car. They had like a little box promo. It came in a mini cereal box, right? And it came in the Action Winter Circle. No, it came in like a little club car style diecast mold. It's a little bit thicker. But I want to swap it out and get rid of all the rubber tires, the detailed window, and make it look something like this. Because that's what I love to collect the most. I'm just keeping it real. That's all for now. Have a blessed one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Diecast Buffet, signing off.